This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and joining me today, it is the mayor of Goshen, Indiana, Jeremy Stutsman. Jeremy, welcome.
Thank you, Tom. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. I should address you as Mr. Mayor, actually.
Jeremy is absolutely fine. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. We're looking forward to chatting with you, and people may think, Goshen, Indiana, well, you know, what does that have to do with RVs? Well, it actually has quite a bit to do with RVs. I believe you are located in... the county seat of Elkhart County? Is that right? Is that?
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah, and of course Elkhart is really the capital of the RV industry. And we just recently spoke with a colleague of yours, the mayor of Elkhart, Rod Robertson. You may know that man.
Yeah, Rod is a good man. Yes.
Yes, and so trying to get a little bit of a sense for how things are going right now. Obviously, we are in the midst of a global pandemic, and no one has really escaped this. I mean, it's been varying degrees of severity, of course, but how are things in Goshen?
You know, things for the circumstances seem to be moving forward and going well, as far as, the whole flattening the curve that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Obviously, our RV industry, among many of our other businesses, are either very slow or shut down right now. Mm-hmm. So that's creating some heartache for our economy, but also for the pocketbooks of our residents and business owners as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're there in north central Indiana, and not too far from South Bend, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're about 45 minutes east of South Bend.
Gotcha. And so you said that overall, maybe not as where you are quite as severe as what's gone on in other areas of the country, specifically New York, New Jersey, Florida, Massachusetts have been hit they've all been hit very hard with this, but you guys seem to be holding your own there.
Yeah, we are. Indiana seems to be doing fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a lot of efforts in Elkhart County and also in our state to create the social distancing and making those hard choices to try and make sure that the virus doesn't spread as much as it could here.
Yeah.
And Elkhart County, we're roughly 210,000 people in our county.
Right.
And as of today, we only have 179 positive cases. So
Right.
We're looking at that as a good step, but we're also being very cautious.
Yeah, absolutely. We're recording this on April 21st, and at this time we're starting to see some protests and some things get out of hand, and folks that are going beyond what we consider protests in that they're actually blocking medical workers getting to places to doing their job, which is not such a great thing at all. But we're holding out hope, and we know that for people in positions like yourself, leadership positions in areas around the country, those are tough decisions. I mean, we're all about working in our economy and making sure things are running smoothly. But at the same time, in a situation like this, it's got to be a really, really tough call in some places. I mean, you want to be safe. You don't want people to get sick. So, boy, hats off. I got to tell you, to not only yourself, but so many people in your position. It's got to be hard.
It definitely is. It's no doubt. It's a stressful time for mayors across the country.
Sure.
Also for all the residents and citizens as well, obviously. We've been fortunate in our area that the Governor Holcomb has been the one that has been issuing the executive orders and deciding which businesses are shut down and which aren't.
Mm-hmm.
The RV industry has actually been labeled as an essential business in our state.
Yeah.
And but the industry as a whole has also saw what's coming. They realize that they have hundreds, sometimes thousands of workers side by side. And so they're actually making the decisions to either reduce staff or shut down themselves, and really working hard with the government agencies to make sure we get ahead of this virus before it completely cripples our economy.
Yeah, getting ahead of it is really the key. We are speaking with the mayor of Goshen, Indiana, Jeremy Stutsman. This is the RV Advisor podcast. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back in a moment. RV owners, it's no secret that those manufacturers' warranties just don't cut it. Get the peace of mind you deserve and step up to the RV Advisor Extended Warranty Plan. Visit thervadvisor.com or call 833-229-0911. That's 833-229-0911. We are back on the RV Advisor podcast. I'm speaking with the mayor of Goshen, Indiana. It is Jeremy Stutsman. And Jeremy, you took you took the position of mayor in January of 2016. So it's been a couple of years, and so it's obviously when you took the position of mayor, it's. You probably didn't see this coming just 2 years later, having to deal with a crisis that every political person or leadership person has to deal with, no matter where they are on the planet. Just tell us, and then I'd like to talk about the community as well, but tell us a little bit about how you had to sort of mobilize, get things going right away without really probably a template for that.
Right. So, coming in as mayor in 2016, I had been on our city council for 8 years at that time. Before this, I was actually owned my own construction company and was doing renovations mainly in our downtown area. But coming in as mayor, you don't get a template for how to run a community during a pandemic like this. Mm-hmm. So it's really about pulling your staff together and pulling the experts in your community and any experts you can connect with actually together to make those quick decisions every day about what needs to happen and oftentimes you make a decision that has the effects you wanted, but it also had some might affect another part of the community in a more negative way. So you got to quick scramble and fix that issue then too. So. Yeah. The number of hours, March 12 was kind of the date for Goshen, Indiana. Mm-hmm. That was the first major event we canceled in our community due to COVID-19. Happened to be my State of the City address that we do. Normally I have 400 to 500 people come out for that, and made the hard decision then to cancel. Yeah. At the time, we thought, we're overreacting, and we shouldn't be doing this yet. But we realized at the time too, if it feels like it's time to cancel, you're probably too late. So if you feel like you're canceling before it's time, then you're probably perfect for flattening the curve. But it's like I said, it's very stressful. I've been putting 80, 90-hour weeks in since March 12th. Trying to stay up on everything nationally, globally, and also within our community. Yeah. So it's an interesting time, that's for sure.
Yeah. You mentioned community, and obviously people all over the country are mobilizing. They're shifting their business to accommodate people and trying to help the folks on the front line fight the COVID-19 virus. What are folks in Goshen doing? Tell us some of the success stories there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of businesses stepping up, which is amazing, and we've actually got more volunteers, access to more volunteers than you can imagine, and we just don't have enough jobs for them at this time. But that's a great thing. we've had RV companies donate trailers to our emergency management team for the Elkhart County so that they can spread out and get out of their offices and spread out a little bit more to be safer.
Yeah.
And they're doing that not only in our area but other areas. Some of our manufacturers are making face masks now and those face shields. So I think everybody's really stepping up. And then within our community, it's just amazing hearing the stories of neighbors helping neighbors, and sometimes people helping people they've never even met before. They just hear the story and want to help them out.
Yeah.
And one that really comes quickly to mind for me is, and I learned about this after the fact, but one of the city employees had taken a phone call, and family was struggling with a landlord that wouldn't replace a refrigerator that was bad, lost all their food. We're in the middle of this world health pandemic. So the landlord refused to do anything. So just to get it over with, my city staff member got with one of our local appliance companies and bought him a new fridge and got it delivered to the house. So truly amazing stories happening across the country right now.
A lot of selfless acts that we see, and it's great. I mean, sometimes it does take a crisis, an emergency like this one, to see the very best in people, and it's great that that's a great story about that family and getting a new refrigerator so they can basically eat, live, right? It's critical.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's been pretty amazing to see too all the different areas of our daily lives we almost take for granted that you just don't think about being affected now.
Yeah.
One of those is our funeral homes. We're having to limit how many people can come to a viewing and how those happen, and how many are at the service, and so it doesn't give the families a real time to grieve. But again, the community's coming together. My wife and I and my kids, we have a single rose delivered to every single viewing just to make sure that they know the community cares, and others are stepping up to do things too. So we're all trying to do what we can to get through this together, and we're also at the same time looking forward to when this does open back up, and how do we situate ourselves best to help the business community and our residential community rebuild. Yeah.
Well, that's great, and that's certainly something that we all have to deal with and are going to have to encounter at some point, the rebuilding from all this. And again, I don't think anybody here living on the planet at this time has too much of a template to kind of go by. I think it's just takes some really smart people, experts, and people who really think this through to impart their wisdom and sort of guide us and give us next steps. And there's going to be some work ahead, but if we all join together and put politics aside and a helpful spirit at the fore, I think we can definitely overcome this as well.
Absolutely. I think you nailed it on the head there. We've got a lot of politicians throughout our country, local, state to federal level.
Yeah.
A lot of them are successfully putting politics aside. They're successfully making those hard decisions, sometimes decisions that can affect us in our next election negatively.
Sure.
But I'm proud of the ones that are realizing that it's not about our next election. It's about serving our communities and helping our country through this. So I think we do have more and more every day that are seeing the light there, and hopefully that'll continue too after this.
I certainly hope the same. Well, and before we let you go, I read where you're a seventh generation member, I should say resident of Goshen. Your family's been there a long time. Is politics or holding office something in your family, or did you break the mold?
I had a great-great-grandfather, or may have been three greats, I don't know, that was held an assessor's position in our county. But outside of that, kind of broke the mold here and
Yeah.
to be honest, I didn't even know I was going to be doing it until it was 3 days before a filing period, and somebody asked me if I ever thought of running, and I laughed and said no.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, let's try this. Let's
Right.
give it a shot.
Well, good for you. That's great, and it sounds like the reviews are in and certainly favorable, and I'm very happy for you. And then obviously, I wish you the best. We all do here at the RV Advisor. We wish you the very best of luck and continued success in working to help overcome all this that we're going through. And we'd love to have you on again sometime. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to. And actually, if I could real quickly, too, there was another big piece that I forgot to mention about the RV industry is
Sure.
They've donated a tremendous amount of N95 masks, too, that they had in stock for their spray booths and their, all the production they do.
Yeah.
So they've stepped up and helped donate those to our first responders and our hospitals, too, which has just been phenomenal. So we appreciate the efforts from everybody during these times.
Excellent. Wow, that's great. And it sounds like a wonderful community. I'd someday like to visit Elkhart County and Goshen and Elkhart itself and stop by and say hello to the mayors there.
Let me know.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, let me know when. I'll buy you lunch, and we'll do a live podcast on Main Street here in Goshen.
I love that idea. Right. That sounds great. The Maple City is Goshen, Indiana. So it sounds like an idyllic community. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Thank
you, and stay healthy.
Thank you. You too. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. We thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.